Speaking of tweeting, I want to let you guys know that we're using hashtag AGU16 and hashtag #StandUpForScience. This is happening on the occasion of the AGU Fall Meeting. The AGU is the world's largest association of Earth scientists, and this is the largest convening of climate scientists since climate deniers gained unprecedented power. There's 26,000 scientists here, and we're making our voices heard. Peter Frumhoff from the Union of Concerned Scientists is going to speak next.
Thank you so much. What a beautiful crowd this is. Thank you all for coming out today. I know you're here because you understand just how essential science and evidence is to our democracy. Science and evidence unfettered by political or corporate interference. Science and evidence that has for decades served as the bedrock for the development of public policies, from the Clean Air Act to the Clean Water Act to the Endangered Species Act, and we can go on, to the Paris Agreement on climate change, that are designed to protect public health and the environment. And science and evidence that I know you all get is at risk of being deeply interfered with in the context of this incoming administration. I know you share the fear that I have, that so many of us have, that science and evidence is at risk of being ignored, disparaged, and disregarded. We see appointments by the President-elect to the Environmental Protection Agency of a man, Scott Pruitt, who actively disparages climate science. We see the appointment, the nomination of Rex Tillerson, the CEO of ExxonMobil, to the Secretary of State, a man who has led a company that has for decades disinformed on climate science in order to avoid regulation. And we see the President-elect himself, President-elect Trump, just on Sunday, say that nobody knows if climate change is real. Science and evidence is at risk, and it's up to us to ensure that it's protected, and that federal scientists doing their work are protected, and that we hold the incoming administration accountable for protecting science and maintaining science-based policies. It really is up to us. So what can we do? Well, we do have to fight back. We do have to watchdog, and there are a lot of different things you can do, a lot of organizations you can join. I want to just tell you a few things about the Union of Concerned Scientists and the things that we're doing. We have an open letter to the Trump administration and the incoming Congress, calling on them to stand up for science and maintain science-based policies to protect federal scientists. It's been signed by about 3,000 scientists, Nobel laureates, to scientists across the country, every state in the Union. If you're a scientist, we call on you to join us to sign that statement. I've been in conversations with federal scientists over the past month, since the election, across agencies who are deeply discouraged about their own well-being, their own ability to do their science. We've just seen a questionnaire, deeply intrusive, go into the Department of Energy, calling on the Department of Energy to name individual scientists who've been working on climate change in the DOE. We need to stand up to that kind of offensive McCarthyite actions. I'm very pleased to have learned today that the Obama administration, still in power, that the Department of Energy has refused to turn over names. Standing up for science, as we all need to do. Many federal scientists I've talked with have talked about polishing up their resumes, looking for something else to do, looking for ways to duck and cover. It's a totally understandable response, but it's not the right response. We need scientists in federal agencies and across the country to keep doing their work and to let them know we have their backs. And UCS in particular is going to work to make sure that we're watchdogging misinformation in this administration. This is a movie that we've seen in part before during the George W. Bush administration. This may be the opening scenes of what might be a sequel on steroids. We just don't know yet. But we've got to be paying attention. We've got to be holding the administration accountable. And for example, UCS is going to be working to establish a portal by which scientists anonymously and confidentially working in federal agencies can report misinformation to us, and we can help forestall the worst outcomes of efforts to derail scientific integrity. So I invite you to join with us, join with any organization that's standing up for science, find ways in your own communities, in your own states, across the country, to ensure that science and evidence is not dismissed, disparaged, or ignored in the next hopefully only 4 years. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Peter.